Best personal development books. Most books serve a specific purpose. They tell a story, teach a skill, or provide an escape from everyday life. We enjoy them for a time, place them back on the shelf, and eventually move on to the next title. Then there are the rare books that leave a lasting mark. These are the books that alter the way we see the world. They challenge assumptions we did not realize we held. They introduce ideas that continue to surface years later during conversations, decisions, and moments of reflection. Long after we have forgotten specific chapters or quotations, their influence remains. What makes these books so powerful is not necessarily that they provide answers. Often, their greatest value lies in the questions they provoke. They encourage us to reconsider what we believe about success, happiness, relationships, work, and human nature itself. While every reader's list will be different, certain books have earned a reputation for changing the way people think. Their influence extends far beyond literature and into the wider culture, shaping how millions of people understand themselves and the world around them. Why certain books stay with us? The most influential books tend to arrive at the right moment. Sometimes a reader encounters an idea they have never considered before. Other times, a book articulates something they have sensed for years but struggled to express. In both cases, the experience can feel transformative. Reading differs from many other forms of media because it requires active participation. A reader is not simply observing information. They are engaging with it, questioning it, and integrating it into their own understanding of the world. As a result, books often create a deeper and more lasting impact than a short article, podcast, or social media post. They provide the space necessary for complex ideas to unfold and for perspectives to evolve. The books that change how we think rarely offer quick fixes. Instead, they invite us into a conversation that may continue for years. 1. Thinking Fast and Slow. One of the most influential books of the 21st century is the book that challenged a simple assumption, that human beings are rational decision makers. In Thinking Fast and Slow, psychologist and Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman explains how much of our thinking is shaped by unconscious biases, mental shortcuts, and cognitive errors. The book introduced millions of readers to the idea that the mind often operates on autopilot, making decisions far more quickly and irrationally than we would like to believe. Its influence extends far beyond psychology. Business leaders, policymakers, and everyday readers have used its insights to better understand decision-making, risk, and human behavior. After reading it, many people find themselves questioning assumptions they once accepted without hesitation. 2. Man's Search for Meaning. Few books have had a greater impact on discussions of purpose and resilience than Man's Search for Meaning. Written by psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, the book combines his experiences during the Holocaust with his belief that meaning is one of the most powerful forces in human life. Frankl argues that while people cannot always control their circumstances, they can often choose how they respond to them. The book's enduring appeal lies in its ability to address one of life's most fundamental questions: what gives life purpose? Decades after its publication, readers continue to turn to it during periods of uncertainty, challenge, and personal reflection. 3. Sapiens. Some books change how we think about ourselves. Others change how we think about humanity. In Sapiens, historian Yuval Noah Harari takes readers on a journey through the history of our species, exploring how Homo sapiens came to dominate the planet. The book examines everything from agriculture and religion to capitalism and technology. What makes Sapiens particularly compelling is its ability to make familiar concepts appear unfamiliar. Institutions and systems that often seem permanent are revealed as human inventions shaped by stories, beliefs, and collective agreements. Readers frequently finish the book with a different perspective on history, society, and the assumptions that underpin modern life. 4. Atomic Habits. While many personal development books focus on motivation, Atomic Habits takes a different approach. Author James Clear argues that meaningful change rarely comes from dramatic transformations. Instead, it emerges through small, consistent actions repeated over time. The book has become enormously popular because it shifts attention away from goals and towards systems. Rather than asking how to achieve a particular outcome, readers are encouraged to examine the habits that shape their daily lives. The central idea is simple but powerful. The quality of our lives is often determined by the small behaviors we repeat every day. It is a concept that has changed the way many people approach personal growth. 5. Meditations. Although it was written nearly 2,000 years ago, Meditations remains remarkably relevant. Written by the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the book is a collection of personal reflections rather than a formal philosophical work. Yet its observations on resilience, self-discipline, and the limits of human control continue to resonate with modern readers. In an age defined by uncertainty and constant change, Stoic ideas have experienced a revival. Many readers find comfort in the reminder that while external events cannot always be controlled, their response to those events remains within their power. The book offers a perspective that feels both ancient and surprisingly contemporary. 6. The common thread. At first glance, these books appear very different. One focuses on psychology, another on history, another on philosophy, and another on habits. Yet they share a common characteristic. Each encourages readers to look beyond surface-level explanations. They challenge assumptions about how people think, why societies function, what creates meaning, and how personal change occurs. Rather than reinforcing existing beliefs, they invite readers to examine them more closely. This willingness to question assumptions is often what separates transformative books from merely informative ones. The goal is not necessarily to agree with every argument. In fact, some of the most influential books are controversial. Their value lies in their ability to provoke thought and encourage deeper engagement with important ideas. Reading as a form of growth. In a world dominated by short-form content, reading remains one of the most effective ways to expand our perspective. Social media often rewards certainty and speed. Books reward patience and nuance. They provide the time and space necessary to wrestle with complex ideas and consider viewpoints that differ from our own. This may explain why so many people continue to return to books, despite the countless alternatives competing for their attention. Reading is not simply a way to acquire information. At its best, it is a way to develop wisdom. The books that change how you think rarely do so overnight. Their influence unfolds gradually. An idea encountered on one page may resurface months later during a conversation or a difficult decision. Over time, these ideas become part of the lens through which we interpret the world. That is the enduring power of great books. They do not merely change what we know. They change how we think. Key takeaways. The most influential books often challenge deeply held assumptions. Great books raise important questions rather than simply providing answers. Reading encourages deeper reflection than most forms of modern media. Books such as Thinking, Fast and Slow, Man's Search for Meaning, Sapiens, Atomic Habits, and Meditations continue to influence millions of readers. The books that change how you think often stay with you long after you finish reading them. Further reading. True confidence rarely comes from the brands we wear or the possessions we own. It comes from knowing who we are and feeling comfortable in our own skin. In our article, How to Build Self-Confidence, we explore the practical habits and mindset shifts that help people develop genuine confidence from within. For more about your personal development, consider to subscribe and hit the notification bell.